Let me read a shocking headline you may have seen somewhere on your news feeds today. Mandalay Bay owner files lawsuit against the victims of the Las Vegas shooting. Now, first, let me verify this for you. It is true. MGM Grand, the owners of Mandalay Bay, have sued the victims of the Vegas shooting massacre. Now, let me connect the dots and explain why. Mandalay Bay, first of all, is not trying to get money from the victims in this lawsuit. They're actually trying to shield themselves from having to pay any money to the victims. It's a preemptive lawsuit. Mandalay Bay has filed these lawsuits in federal court. Why? Because of the Federal Safety Act, which was enacted in the aftermath of 9/11. Now, under the Safety Act, if a corporation uses security services that are certified by Homeland Security, they cannot be sued in the event of an act of terrorism. Now, Mandalay Bay says their security was certified. But there's one big problem for Mandalay Bay. The Vegas massacre has not been labeled an act of terrorism. Why? Because under federal law, terrorism has a very specific definition. The attack must be motivated by a desire to influence the policy of the government, coerce a civilian population, or affect the conduct of the government. Well, it's been 289 days since the Vegas shooting. No motive has been uncovered, and we still don't know why he did it. And that's why Mandalay Bay may lose this lawsuit in court and be subjected to thousands of lawsuits in state court, some of which have already been filed.